Eisenhorn Xenos is a rich and stunning third-person action-adventure that works surprisingly well on mobile. Is what I would be saying if I was just going to read out the official Pocket Gamer and AppSpy review like normal, but I'm not going to do it, not this time, because I kinda fundamentally disagree. Now, normally there's a review that's arrived on by our reviewers who are incidentally excellent. Harry Slater reviewed this game. He's a man who's played literally thousands of mobile games, and I respect his opinion pretty much more than anyone else's. But in this case, his experience of the game differs so much from the one I've had capturing footage for this review, and I've played it for about 2 hours. He will have played it for a lot longer. I'll describe the game first, the way he describes it. So what we're dealing with here is a action combat game which kind of borrows cues from Arkham Asylum. The combat is a bit like Arkham Asylum. You've got the buttons that allow you to engage in melee, that allow you to dodge and roll away. You get the little icons that appear above people's heads when they're about to attack you. So very similar in that regard. You've got a stealth vision sort of thing, which allows you to see people through walls, like Batman's detective mode. And even the character himself, an Inquisitor, he is essentially, as Harry says, the detective of the Warhammer 40k universe. So there's a lot in common where that's concerned. They're very focused on storytelling. As Harry says, he sees it as kind of a very rich and serious and slightly pompous lore. And they're very into delivering the story. There's a lot of walking down corridors while Mark Strong, who voices the Inquisitor, is talking to you and explaining plot. There's a lot of kind of soliloquy stuff where he's delivering monologues about what's going on. Mark Strong, incidentally, a very cool actor, like his voice a lot, so no problems there. Other voice actors, maybe not so strong, but there you go. You get to use psychic pushes during combat as well. You can kind of do a little force thing which you charge and push people back. That's kind of fun. There's also this thing called the Auspex, which allows you to hack objects. Again, a bit like Batman's hacking tool. You can clear minefields with it. As Harry says, you can open doors, you can read data slates. You'll also find yourself moving through areas of the environment, crouching under steam vents and, dodging laser gates and assassinating guards and stuff like that. So it's got a lot going on with it. It's a very, very ambitious thing. Now, the way he describes it is the violence is brutal and swift, the story keeps things interesting, and the gorgeous Unreal-powered world really is a joy to wander through. Now, I would agree with a large chunk of that. It is a gorgeous-looking world. It's very, very impressive, especially for mobile. And they spent a lot of time kind of detailing these big old corridors and giving the thing a sense of scale. So, yes to all of that. The thing I would disagree with is, I think the controls are kind of shonky. I played this on an iPhone, while I'm certain Harry's reviewed it on an iPad. And for me, these buttons are very small, clustered together. They can be quite unresponsive. The camera is all over the shop because you can't control the camera whilst you're doing the attacks, really. It's one of these games where I wish I was using a controller for it and not using the touchscreen. I don't think it's been well optimized for it at all. To be honest with you, the game it reminds me most of is The Order 1886, in so much as it's all about walking down corridors while people expose plot, and then a cutscene starts, and then you walk down another massive corridor, and then another cutscene starts, and then you do a bit of fighting, which isn't a great deal of fun. Now, Harry had a very different experience to me, and he will have played it for longer than me as well to do his review. So, if anyone's opinion should be listened to more, I would say it is his. But I do think this is going to prove to be a divisive game. Usually within the office we can come to some kind of mutual understanding about whether we think something's generally good or generally bad. But I think this is going to split people down the middle. In fact, I went on and just checked the Steam results for reviews of this game just before I went on, and they're pretty much 50-50 split between thumbs up and thumbs down. And a lot of them share similar complaints that I have, while other people are championing the same stuff that Harry is championing. So what I would suggest to you is read Harry's review in full, go and check out our hands-on video that we released many months back when we first got our hands on the game. Bear in mind that this is an expensive one, so it's £7.99 or probably $9.99. I'm sorry this isn't a more clean-cut review, but I couldn't just read out the sentences saying it's amazing whilst in my head going, I really don't think this is amazing. So I think it's fair to give you both sides of the coin. As with all reviews, ultimately these are just personal opinions being shared, and you got to decide for yourself in the end. So grab as much material as you can before you hit the purchase button would be my advice. And then let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Are you with Harry? Is this a 9 out of 10 solid gold winner? Or are you a bit more with me and I think it's a bit clunky and iffy and maybe not best suited for mobile? Either way, the game is out right now on iPhone and iPad. Thank you for watching as always. We'll see you next time.